Willkommen, this is Julia.
And this is Shane. And this is Think Plant-Based. Think Plant-Based. Make sure to check out recipes, health tips, travel tips at www.thinkplantbased.com.
And we're officially on iTunes, so please rate and write us a review on iTunes.
Write us a review. Give us 2 stars, 3 stars, maybe 5 stars. Let us know.
For sure, 5.
Yeah, I mean, who would give us 2 stars anyways, right? But yeah, make sure to do that because that's how we get found.
Do you know my highlight when I go to Whistler?
What's your highlight at Whistler? The snow?
No. Well, I actually like the snow, but I wish I'd be into skiing or snowboarding, but that's not what I grew up with back in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
But I love going to Eds Bred.
Eds Bred, and we got them here today. How's it going, guys?
Yay! Hi there.
Hey, really good.
Awesome.
My favorite sourdough bread makers in the house. I'm excited.
Yeah, right?
Thanks for having us on the podcast.
Yeah, our pleasure. So yeah, tell the listeners a little bit more about what business you guys have.
So we have an organic sourdough bread shop in Whistler, just down in Creekside, which is the original village back in the 50s. And it's just at the bottom of the gondola, so really easy to get up to explore the mountains, skiing and snowboarding.
It's a micro bakery, so it's organic sourdough bread and some small baked goods like cinnamon buns and some other things, some cookies and things, and coffee. We have an espresso machine as well.
Yeah, right. Super good. I always love to go up there.
It's so cozy in there too.
You got to get the baguettes at 11, right? Is that right?
Oh my goodness, yeah, you know the schedule.
Yeah, I know it too well. Baguettes at 11, the fresh bread in the morning,
right?
And grab a coffee. So if anyone's ever up there, and of our listeners, definitely go.
Right, it's and the cinnamon buns you guys have, and sometimes with raspberries. That's
and
my favorite.
The plant-based whipped cream.
Yeah, so we make everything we make in-house. And we like to have, we're very honest in the sense that you can come in and see all the bakers prepping for the next day and baking fresh for that day. So it's kind of it's a sight for all the senses.
Yeah, I bet. Must be pretty hard because sourdough takes a long time to make, being a kind of a...
It does, yeah. There's no rest. We feed our sourdough starters. We have 2 sourdough starters. We feed them every 12 hours. So
wow.
Just to keep them nice
full-time
and lively.
Job. It's like a baby.
Yeah,
it is.
Like the original Tamagotchi, I heard someone say on the internet.
Right.
Because you always have to feed it and clean up.
Exactly, yeah.
That's really...
Make sure it's kept at good temperature.
Yeah, it's
right?
hard. It's
like for Shane like that too, or on the weekends, when we go outside, he's like, okay, we gotta be back at 1 hour and a half, so hurry.
Very time sensitive.
Yeah.
Temperature and time sensitive. Right now I got a couple loaves I'm proofing right now, so I gotta make sure it's right all the time.
There you go. So you can come and do an apprenticeship with us.
Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm really good with baker hours.
Assistant baker.
Yeah, be careful what you say, Shane. It's really challenging because last week we had a really cold spell up here. It was like -20 in the village.
Whoa.
And that was especially challenging for the sourdough because when the bakery door's opening all day,
right,
the air's coming in and it's quite a challenge to keep it consistent.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Right. So,
it changes.
So what do you guys do about it, like when it gets that cold?
So the bakery we've had it designed so the HVAC system, the heating cooling system, generally keeps the shop at a constant temperature of around 22 Celsius is the ideal temperature. So, and then obviously in the summer we'll have extra air conditioning on as well to try and keep it a little cooler. But it's just all a balance. Sometimes we'll use slightly warmer water with the dough or slightly cooler water to moderate how long the bread is fermented for.
Oh,
and sometimes you just have to wait or you have to move quickly.
Mm-hmm. We sort of react with how the dough moves.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. Sometimes I can go for a walk in the afternoon and sometimes it's no lunch break, just keep working the whole day.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. So what made you guys want to start up an all plant-based bakery and cafe?
Well, we are vegan ourselves, so I mean, there's this word ethical vegan. I don't understand what that means, because to me, vegan is ethical. But if you are
exactly right.
Point.
Yeah, how can you say you're vegan and not be ethical, right?
I know. I just keep hearing this, like, I'm an ethical vegan, and it's like, well, all vegans are ethical. But if you're vegan, then you can't really profit from animal cruelty. So, as vegan people, for us, it's a no-brainer that we would have a cruelty-free business. But obviously, you have to think about the business landscape. And we did a lot of research into sort of veganism and the trends and the shifts. And what we found is that there were some reports that said that you're 3 times more likely to be vegetarian if you live in BC.
Oh, wow.
And and there's been a big shift, hasn't there, between how many places have opened up in Vancouver and all around the world that are vegan, or most restaurants now have vegan options. All the cafes are serving up, milk substitutes. There's celebrities that are endorsing it. There's so much media coverage for veganism that it just seems like it's a trend, for the want of a better word, that's growing. And Whistler has a lot of athletic people that are connected to nature. They care about their health. They care about the environment. And so, they want to eat healthily, and plant-based is seen as healthy. So we found that there was no other bakery in Whistler, or even the Sea to Sky corridor, that is plant-based. So it was an easy, niche for us to sort of get a hold of. Hopefully there will be more in the future. I mean, we would like to see a vegan future everywhere. But if there is, then we will be the first, so. Right.
The originators.
Yeah.
OGs,
the originals.
The OGs.
Totally.
Of the bakery. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So when did you guys get started into making sourdough bread? Because, I mean, I guess everyone always starts in the home, usually, because that's when you got the most time, and then venture out.
Yeah, 1 or 2 loaves. Yeah. And then you think, I should open a bakery.
Yeah.
I started.
Right.
But that's a lot of work.
People tell you all the time, you should open a bakery, right?
Yeah.
It's quite a jump, but to put it in a nutshell, I've been working in kitchens since I was 13. So over 20 years. Always worked in fine dining kitchens, so we always made everything in house. And I just sort of grew through my 20s, just a real interest in fermentation, and more importantly, sourdough. Started making it at a few restaurants, and then taking it home and experimenting more. And then we started bread actually about in 2016, so about 3.5 years ago. At a restaurant I worked at in Whistler called Alta Bistro, and it was through Facebook. So you would pre-order your bread. It would be one type of sourdough each week, and therefore it was zero waste. So I started making 30 loaves for a small sort of niche underground bread club.
Well, it started as Ed would make bread for our yoga teacher.
Oh yeah,
and then
nice.
And then the studio would smell of fresh bread, and then all the yogis would come, and then they would start smelling it and go, when can we get this bread? When can we start buying this bread? So the initial idea was to make a batch and then sell it at the yoga studio, but we just decided, or Ed decided, it'd be more practical if they picked it up from the restaurant. And then I think he made 30 loaves the first time, and it was like, are we going to be able to sell them all? Like, what are we going to do if we don't sell them all? Because it was just to friends and yoga people.
Right.
And then within a few weeks, it's like 60 people. And
it kept growing. We should buy more tins. And then I was renting the kitchen because we didn't open for lunch, so I could use their mixer and ovens and things. And within a year, we were up to about 150 loaves.
Wow.
Every Wednesday, I would make it in the morning and then prove them in the fridge overnight and bake in batches 10 at a time in 2 different ovens. So
at opposite ends of the restaurant.
It was a steep learning curve, but it really sort of set us up to, after that sort of year or so, we were outgrowing the equipment. The restaurant kind of wanted their sous chef back.
And the local paper, The Peak, had done an article, "The Best Bread You've Never Heard Of," and all the people, we call them the bread OGs. they loved being part of this secret club, and they'd all come and meet up, and then sometimes they'd bump into each other at pickup, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're part of the bread train too?" They'd be like, "Oh yeah, how did you hear about it? How did you get on the program?" You know, and a lot of them still miss those days. They're always saying to us like, "Oh, I remember the good old days when we used to pick it up once a week."
Now they can have even more if they want to, right? They just
now
come
they
to
can
your
have,
store.
and they can choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was one type. It was like, I'd just make a sesame sourdough, and that was the option. There was no add-ons or anything like that. And then just change it the next week. I would do a walnut and raisin, and
Right.
it was like moving market research. We could see, what people's favorites were. They would give me feedback the next week if they liked it, or they thought there was, too much fruit in there, or too much spice. So it was a real eye opener, and really helped us on our journey.
Great. I love the variety you guys have, and that you change things up. You have new sweets on the menu, because, I mean, even when we bake at home, I always like to try new recipes too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's very creative in the kitchen, but I mean, it's great if you appreciate that. But some of the customers, they want a consistent schedule. They want,
Right.
What's the bread next week on Thursday? And I'm like, well, it'll probably be this, this, this. But then Thursday will come around, and Ed's just decided that, no, I'm going to sprout some grains and I'm going to make the other bread. And then people come in and they're like, where's the oat porridge loaf? I'm like, well, today,
Speak to Ed.
Ed, come and talk to this upset customer, because he's just creative. He doesn't like to be pigeonholed into a routine.
Exactly. I'm like that too. Yeah.
I go rogue a lot. I just sort of,
He's a lovable rogue.
It's good, because how else do
great.
you, evolve and learn new techniques and different things? You constantly do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. One item that's definitely confused a lot of people is I put on a cookie called the hummus cookie.
The hummus cookie.
Oh, that's
What is
confusing.
this?
Which a friend of mine, Nick, my old head chef, said should be called the hookie. But it's basically
What is that even?
It's like hummus and cookie together.
Oh,
it's inspired by hummus. There's no garlic in there, but there is chickpeas, lemon, tahini. It's rolled in sesame, so there's no garlic in there. A little bit of olive oil, so it's a sweet cookie, just inspired by hummus.
I mean, what's more vegan than hummus,
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely, right?
Some people eat it every day. It's
And it's gluten-free, so,
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's
Right,
awesome.
vegan and gluten-free, that goes hand in hand nowadays.
ticking all the boxes. Nut-free.
Yeah.
Yeah, nut-free, gluten-free. Yeah, like everyone would be able to enjoy those ones.
Yeah, and they do.
And it's a good point, Shane. That's what we want our bakery to be. We want it to be all inclusive, that you don't have to just be vegan. It opens the door for everyone. We have gluten-free options, even though we mill flour in house. So we try and sort of warn sort of celiacs. We say it's not really suitable because it can be airborne, but generally our doors are open to anyone that's willing to sort of, taste our baked treats.
And that's why we went with the sort of strapline as plant-based, or on our website it says plant-sourced and vegan-friendly, just because we are big vegans, so we love to look for the word vegan when we're out and about, but we wanted to appeal to everyone, because we want veganism to become normal. We want it to be normalized. So we've put plant-friendly or plant-sourced as our strapline, because people don't have the same sort of fear of that word. It's a lot more inclusive. In fact, some people don't get it at all. They'll stand there and ask for like normal milk or real milk, and I'll be like, we're 100% plant-based, and they still, so you don't have any real milk? And I say, well, no, but the oat milk's unreal.
Yeah, right.
Nice answer. Great.
That's why we went with think plant-based instead of think vegan as well, because we find that sometimes, the stigma around it. Not that the vegan label has anything around, but we didn't want it to be not inclusive of anybody, right?
Right.
So
just because we think it sounds great and it makes sense to us doesn't mean for the listeners or the rest of the world it does, right? Everyone thinks so differently and understands.
And everyone eats plants as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So even if you're eating meat, you still eat plants in your diet. So.
Unless you're on the carnivore diet, then they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
which I still don't understand quite scientifically or anything about. Yeah. But anyways, so how old is your starter? The age-old question. And do you have any real cool nicknames for them? Because I know a lot of people like to name their starter.
You have to name the starter. That's the most important thing. So I'll answer that question first. We have 2 sourdough starters that we actually grew or bred, excuse the pun, when about 4 months before we opened the shop, because we wanted a fresh start. It was a new environment, a new shop, so we wanted a new sourdough starter. So it's only actually so it's probably just over a year old. Our first birthday of the shop is the 22nd of March. So I think I started in maybe the October before then. And the new school way of thinking is it's not necessarily to do with the age. You can have a 50-year-old sourdough starter, and a lot of the bacteria and things have died off.
Right.
So actually, once you get really, you can make bread from a sourdough starter after about 10 to 14 days. You should be ready to go to make your first loaf of sourdough. So I would say after 2 to 3 weeks, it will just get better and better. So once we hit the 4-month mark of opening the shop, I was really happy with the way it progressed, and really happy with the bakes, as soon as we opened the door. So yeah, not that old at all. We have 2, like I mentioned. We have a wheat sourdough that's called Mother Teresa.
Yeah, nice name. Nice.
Or because I'm into hip hop, we can sort of MT for short.
More street cred.
More street cred for sure.
And then we also have a rye sourdough starter because we make 100% rye, which we're big fans of. Not many people make 100% rye loaves. They are a bit heavier. Sort of that German style.
Yeah, I love it. I grew up on that.
Yeah, Julia's from Germany, so she loves the...
There you go. So, and we get a lot of people. We get a lot of Europeans that are looking for that sort of bread. It freezes really well, so you can pre-slice it and toast it.
Right.
So because it's a rye sourdough starter, there's a famous professional skier local guy who lives in Worcester called Stan Ray.
Stan Ray is spelled R-E-Y.
Right.
So we called it Stan Rye.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Stan Ray, I bumped into him. I didn't know this guy, but I bumped into him at the BC Liquor and sort of told him about this, and he was quite confused.
He's like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
I named my sourdough starter after you. If you want to come and get some free bread and maybe get a photo on opening week, we'd love to have you. And it turns out his dad was a Swiss baker for years and years.
Oh, wow.
So he laughed. He found it really funny, and he came in opening day, and he's got a big following on Instagram and everything, so it was good sort of publicity as well.
He's known as a nice guy, though.
That's awesome.
We want nice sourdough starters. So.
Did you guys put a picture of him on your starter container?
We should do.
That'd
be a good one. Yeah.
Instead of the name, you go by picture.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I love that.
So yeah, we've got the 2, but then with potential, I've done. You can change sourdough starters. You can feed them sort of, for example, you can make a chocolate sourdough starter and start feeding it a blend of cocoa powder and flour. You could make a spelt sourdough starter just by changing the feed schedule to, that 100% that flour. We have had interest in people looking for spelt loaves, so that could be something that we do in the future.
Right. I love working with spelt. Sprouted spelt's my favorite. It adds such a good flavor to stuff. Like I even put in my pizza dough, and just like that 20-30% sprouted spelt just gives it that really good earthy taste that I just love.
Almost like a nutty, right?
Yeah, it's like a nutty.
It is really nutty.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of explain until you have it, unique, but very unique about it.
No, the percentages is key. Right. I find that really interesting, the sort of math side of it, and we add 30% to our baguettes actually. So it's 70% bread flour, 30% spelt, and it does give that sort of nutty flavor, and it makes it easy for rolling because it has an elasticity to it.
Right.
Oh, wow. Cool.
That's awesome.
So what's your favorite bread you love to make, Ed?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Natasha should answer this one.
Yeah,
she could say hers and I could say mine.
Sure.
Because Natasha does have to taste test all of the breads, obviously.
Oh, that must be a hard job. Julia does my taste testing too.
Yeah. It's I don't know, that question is kind of like when you live in Whistler, it's like, what's your favourite mountain, Whistler or Blackcomb? And it's kind of like, well, isn't it great that we have both? And that's how I feel about the bread. It's like, sometimes I love the rye coated in sunflower seeds. That's one of my favourites for toast, especially. Yeah. But then yesterday, Ed made a sprouted buckwheat country loaf. So it's like a regular country sourdough, but it has little sprouts of buckwheat in it. So it's not the buckwheat flour, but it's like the sprouts through it.
The groats.
Groats, yeah. So that kind of bread is really delicious and interesting. And then I love like fruity ones like walnut and raisin or walnut and fig. Mm-hmm. That's really good. But you don't want to overdo it with those. You don't want to have those too much. So, yeah, I kind of like the variation. I would say Ed likes making loaves that are freeform rather than tins. Customers are always like, I like the tins because it cuts up well for sandwiches. But for the baker, it's really sad because it doesn't. You don't get such a good crust and crumb on a tin loaf.
Right.
They're a bit more restricted. I like the wild loaves where you can sort of. It's a bit more skillful. You can shape them and you get score them. You get a beautiful ear. Or I'm a big fan of sesame on the outside. I love that sort of almost peanut butter flavor.
Toasted sesame or toasted
sunflower
seeds.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Super good.
Yeah,
you're making me want bread.
Yeah, right.
I got a sun-dried tomato and caramel olive freeform batons in the proofing right now.
Nice, there you go.
So we're gonna eat that for dinner.
Yeah,
we'll drive down.
That was smart to prepare bread before talking to us.
Yeah, right. I thought in lieu of that, it only made sense too. I'm trying to speed it up, which is never good with sourdough. So instead of doing like a fridge fermentation, I'm trying to do like a 2-hour proof.
Okay.
So I'm hoping they still turn out okay. Might not be as sour tasting, but I'm hoping they still will work.
It will be tasty.
I've never tried it, so I'm going to try it this time.
And that's the other thing. You won't stop learning. That's why I first sort of drew me towards kitchens. Wasn't just sort of like because it was my first job, but it was once I got into it, it was like that continual learning about ingredients. And even though sourdough is water, flour, and salt, there's so many variables and there's so much to learn.
Right. It's like a chemistry experiment, I find. It reminds me about being in chemistry class, and you gotta, temperature and the right measurements, like precisely, and
absolutely.
Totally.
And I always try and I still see myself as a very new baker, even though I've been making sourdough for over 10 years. I still try, and if people ask me questions in the shop or through Instagram, I always try and sort of answer it in the best I can and help people, because I think it's so amazing that home sourdough bakers is growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. We hear so many times even like bread is not good for you, right? But I know you guys have such a great image about how good bread can be, and it's so easy to digest. And
when it's made right.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a lot of customers that say they're gluten intolerant or they've been having digestion issues with gluten, and then they say, but this bread is the only bread I can eat. Wow. So when you get that from someone that has, issues with gluten, and then they're telling you that your sourdough doesn't have that effect on them, then that's kind of like great feedback, because in terms of, well, we must be doing something right. Like this must be better for you than, commercial bread.
Right.
Because the people that have the issues don't have the reaction with the sourdough. So if it's naturally leavened anyway, which ours is. And there's like a naturopath in town, and he said to me before that he recommends people our sourdough because he knows we make it without yeast and that it's the real deal.
Right.
And so that's great because we don't even pay him, and he's sending people our way.
Promotion.
It just happens, if you do
the
right work, people love supporting you.
Yeah.
The community has been amazing, actually.
Yeah.
People have been really supportive, and word of mouth is so strong. And even Vancouver, the Vancouver crowd, they love if they come up to ski or snowboard on the weekend. It's amazing to see friendly, familiar faces coming in the shop and bringing friends and family with them. So it's been really, really nice. It feels like a little family store.
They're always asking us, when are you going to open a store in Vancouver? When are you coming to Vancouver?
Definitely.
That's what I had in mind.
That's what we're going to ask.
I mean, it's very full on running just one shop. So
I bet. Yeah.
It's and it's kind of like Whistler has big staff challenges. People are here on work visas, accommodation's expensive. There's a whole bunch of problems. It's very competitive between people. Right. So we kind of want to make sure we've got a team that are going to be here for the long haul before we start relocating to Vancouver.
But we would love to do with this ideas of doing pop-ups and things like that to bring the awareness from Vancouver to our store here. So we would love to do some pop-ups and some events and things like that in Vancouver. And then maybe a few years down the road, we can sort of look at that more seriously.
Right. Maybe you guys can even just get a delivery to deliver it on the same day or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Not even have to relocate or anything. You can just make everything in Whistler and start selling. But that gets my next question. You guys have any future plans? How you want to expand Eds? Try to keep it small. And where can the listeners find you guys?
Yeah.
Online or in Whistler?
So we have got a pop-up that we're in the process of organising right now. So maybe in May, June time, we'll be collaborating with another vegan business in Vancouver and doing a pop-up in their store. I don't want to say who it is yet, just in case it falls through, but there's talk of that. We're keen to do it. I think it's a likely possibility that will happen.
Yeah.
And Julia Murray is a vegan food blogger and ex-Olympian. So she lives in Whistler, and she is starting the first Whistler Vegan Festival this year. I don't know if you've heard about this.
Yeah, we heard about it. Yeah, we might come up. We'll see. If we
you will come up. You have to come up. We will come.
We'll try. When is it in again? What
date exactly?
June 20th. Although it's a 3-day thing, but I think June 20th is the main day. And again, we're collaborating. It's still being organised, but we're working on collaborating with another Vancouver business that has a product that will place very nicely onto our bread, and then we'll be doing a collaboration stall with them, hopefully in the wine garden. So again, we can't release any confirmed details yet, but that's in the pipeline, and hopefully adding another product range as well to our bread this year as well. So we're working on a new product range, the Vegan Fest, and a pop-up. So lots of things.
Yeah.
Busy year.
I know we said
you guys
just trying to sort of always add new items to the menu week by week and take things off. We keep it seasonal, which we feel keeps it interesting for the customer, but also for our staff. They get to sort of, the more enthusiastic they are to talk about these new items and where the ingredients come from, gives them sort of it makes it a more enjoyable workplace.
Oh, I
definitely.
Bet. Yeah.
Gotta go.
And then you got the listeners can find us through our Instagram page, which is Eds _bread, BRED, and also that's linked on our website edsbred.com, and through Facebook as well.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll make sure to put them up on the show notes so that everyone can find you.
Definitely.
And if they want to find us in the flesh, then we're in the bread shop pretty much all the time. You can get the gondola to us. We're at the bottom of Whistler Mountain in Creekside Village, the original village. We're on the Valley Trail system, so you can bike or hike to us. You can get the bus if you want to be sustainable. There's bus stop right outside. Or you can drive, and there is free parking for your electric vehicle as well.
Perfect. Look at that.
For the Tesla.
So many
for
ways.
the Teslas out there, yeah.
So many ways to get to you guys. Even like a snowfall can't stop us to get to your place.
We're the only bakery in Whistler that you can ski or snowboard to.
That's awesome.
But please don't bring your ski equipment in store.
Yeah, I bet that's probably not going to help with stuff. Yeah.
Disclaimer, all skiers must be accompanied by a snowboarder.
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Well, you guys are such a great inspiration.
Yeah, great team.
Yeah, dream team, you know, like you made your dream come true, you know, like by working together, and it's just amazing. And I just see you guys more flourishing and expanding in an amazing way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an epic first year. We've blown all of our predictions out the water. We took a loan out from a community funding organization, and they said to us, like, you know, people always over-predict they always over-forecast their numbers, but we actually didn't. So it's like very, very nice to see. So It's very reassuring if anyone out there is thinking about starting a vegan food business. Like, do your market research, make sure you're sort of putting it in the right area for footfall and demand, but essentially, like, don't be put off by making it plant-based, because not only are we doing it plant-based against all odds, but we are in Creekside Village, which we were told many times is a dead zone. Businesses have come and gone out of there for years. Like, no one makes it in Creekside. And, and we just can't believe the first year we've had. It's incredible. So
yeah, I think it's always the busiest is your guys' bakery every time it's in there. Yeah. They're right. Yeah, they don't really have
October,
too much there.
Which is like, October was like one of our quiet months. But like right now, it's absolutely cranking 10 hours a day.
Wow, you guys make it busy. I think that's why.
Yeah, it's you guys. You're local celebrities now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks so much for having us on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for your time and
super fun.
And talking to us about sourdough.
Yeah.
My favorite hobby.
Totally.
What's the name of your starter, Shane?
Honestly, I've never named it. I know I should, but I never actually put a name to it because I don't know.
Didn't you read me some names and then you said that was a good name?
But I can't remember.
Tell me like one that was super funny. Which one was that?
I can't remember which is the good one. I gotta find a good name. I haven't found a good enough name.
I heard a good one before. Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood is definitely the number one favorite. Yeah, I probably should call that one, but mine's not as powerful as Clint Eastwood. So,
well, next time we see each other, or when we meet each other in person, that's the first question I'm asking you, Shane.
Okay, right. I'll think of a name.
That's your homework.
I'll put a picture on my jar, just so I know exactly what it is. Yeah,
sounds great.
Sounds great. Well, you guys have a good rest of your evening here, and. Yeah, we'll talk soon.
And we see each other soon.
You.
Yeah, we'll see you soon when we come up for bread.
Yeah,
more. Thanks, guys.
Sounds good.
Take care.
Take care, eh?
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.